Yo, what's popping with the people? What's good with y'all, man? All is well over here, and quite a few things we need to talk about, David. But before we get
Oh, it's
into that,
David. Do I need to change
yeah,
my?
it's
Do I need
David.
to
It's
change my
David
name?
today. It's
It's
David
David
today.
today.
It's
Hold on.
David today.
Hold on.
You
Hold
will
on.
be
Hold on.
David
Hold on a
today.
second.
But we
Hold
got
on
quite
one
a few
second.
things
Let
to
me,
talk about. Quite a few things to talk about. First of all,
cause I don't.
before we even get started, before we even go there, I gotta make sure uh I give a shout out to my daughter. It's her 10th birthday today. Shout out to my youngest daughter,
10.
Elena. Yeah, 10 years old. So had her.
Uh,
She had a sleepover this weekend, so I had kids all over the damn place, being loud as hell.
uh.
But it
You
kind of
ain't kill no
reminded
kids,
me.
right? Did they all live? Did they survive? Did they all
Yeah, they
make
all
it?
survived. Nobody got hurt. It's all good. It was all good. So things went well there. It was cool. Kind of reminded me of my childhood where, it was, sleepovers and stuff. So pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Shout out to my daughter, Elena. I got eight, Dave. I got 8 more years and I'm empty nested, dog. Out of here. Out of here. I'm
Nice.
going to be living my best life, Dave. Living my best
10
life.
years, bro. 10 years. One of them will
Yeah.
be out. One of them will be out in about 3 years. Devon will be out the house.
Yeah, that's
I'm,
crazy.
I'm
That's
going
wild,
down.
man.
I'm going down to I'm heading down to CIAA to the CIAA basketball tournament in Baltimore, and I'm planning some college tours while I'm down there too. Like I'm gonna go. I already got Howard booked. I got Townsend booked. Trying to get Morgan booked. Trying to get Delaware State booked, and a couple other schools I'm gonna hit while I'm down there. John Hopkins. I'm gonna hit a couple other ones too while I'm down there. And then we'll hit some tournament games in there the week. We'll catch Fisk Gymnastics while we down there because they're gonna be at Townsend, so it should be a good week. So should be a
Yeah,
good
so
week.
shout out to Noli. Noli, hey, real quick, Noli, I did put the chat because I need you to come. I need you to come in front of the congregation because I'm need. I got a little bone to pick with you, Noli. So come on in. Well, not right now, but we'll send the invite out later. It's in the Discord, so come through. Shout out to my man
Oh
J Cole with
Lord.
the super chat as well. I did not do a mock draft Monday today. I had to go in. We got a project kickoff. I gotta go. I actually have to go physically to work for the next 2 days. So it'll be 3 consecutive days for me. So I ain't had no time to do nothing. I've been extremely busy. I just got to get through this week. This week is an extremely busy week for me outside of work. So I did not get a chance to do a mock draft, but we'll try to get one tonight. Mango Cole says pod. So I see a lot of y'all follow me on Twitter because everybody know what's about to happen. Okay, everybody knows what's about to happen. All right,
I
and
don't follow. I
everybody
don't follow
follow.
him on Twitter, so I don't know what. I don't know what's gonna happen
Everybody
right now.
follow me on Twitter. Everybody know they're talking about because they don't want me to pod. But Dave, I'm podding today. All gloves coming off. All gloves are coming off today, Dave. But before we get into that, we can't skip, Dave. How was your weekend? My weekend was great. How about yours, Dave?
I finally made an executive decision, and I'm gonna start watching Snowfall. I watched the first 2 episodes on Sunday. But other than that, man, the weekend was straight. Like I started planning the trip that I was just talking about, so I'm trying to put that itinerary together. I'm gonna drive down to Baltimore during winter break because up here they have winter break. They give the kids a week off in February. So me and Nirvana gonna go down and do some college tours and get her a little bit of the HBCU experience, so she can she's up in New England, so gotta make sure she gets some level of exposure out of it. So other than that, man, it was pretty chill. Oh, and my wife's aunt, she became a judge. So we
Wow.
celebrated on Saturday for lunch. So yeah, that was a good one too. But other than that, man, can't complain.
That's dope. That's dope. Shout out
Mm-hmm.
to your in the world. Um, but all right, let's go ahead, Dave, because it's time to get down. And I don't have no slides today. I didn't have time to make no slides. I ain't had time to do nothing. So this is gonna be one of them shows where it's gonna be kind of old school. We're gonna go off the cuff, just talking, okay? So real quick, I gotta hit the super chat. Shout out to Noli again, says it's about to go down. Kevin Hart voice. Ladarius says Shane, I'm with you on that, bro. But Dave, we got to talk about these playoff games. We got to talk about these playoff
Okay.
games, okay? So let's talk about these playoff games. Shout out to Christian McCaffrey and the 49ers taking out the Cowboys. That was dope. I appreciate them because this is one team I don't want to see succeed in anything, and that's the Dallas Cowboys. I hate the Dallas Cowboys much like everybody. So I'm
So
happy
for
that
the
they
so
go ahead.
so I have a crazy stat for you, and I don't know, you might have already seen it on Twitter because I posted it on Twitter. Since 1996, there's been three teams who haven't made it to the NFC Championship game. One is Dallas. Can you name the other two?
No, I don't. I didn't look.
Detroit and Washington. And the crazy thing is, the other 13 teams that did make it to the NFC Championship game at some point, they've all at least done it twice over the 26-year span. That is insane. Insanity. So, yeah. So another year that Dallas doesn't make it to the NFC Championship game.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for them. So yeah, so Dallas took the L. Philadelphia destroyed the New York Football Giants. They just didn't even show up. Kansas City, Jacksonville. That was a pretty good game actually. Shout out to KC, pulled away with the victory. Shout out to Noli.
That high ankle sprain too.
Yeah, that didn't look good at all. That was a nasty sprain, bro. That was nasty.
Bro,
that was nasty.
Let me tell you something. When I saw the injury happen, the first thing I said was, they better pray to God Cincinnati doesn't win. And look what happens. I can't believe I'm saying this shit, man. We in 1990.
So Noli says, don't forget to be petty about Ben Johnson. Yeah, I don't think, did we pod last time since Ben Johnson pulled his name out?
Nah, we haven't. Nah, we haven't.
Yeah, he said he's not good. He said he's going back to the line, so he has removed his name from contention. That's why he is not on the thumbnail of this show. So yeah, he did pull his name out the hat. And I think a couple of teams were after him. So, and that was my pick. And he decided to go back to the Lions.
They gave that man a raise and said, you know what, just stay over here for a little while longer.
Yeah, I mean, he probably turned down a bag, but it is what it is. It kind of is what it is. A Cash says, how about them Cowboys? Greatest game ending play I've ever seen. Yeah, Zeke got blown up, and that was a terrible, terrible, terrible play to end the game. That was awful. But
Zeke might be the last running back left. Because Pollard's a free agent.
Yeah, Pollard broke it, and he had a terrible injury too. Not good. That's not a good injury, bro. That's a terrible injury for running back. This is funny. Carson says Rapod. I never heard that one. Rapod coming today. Happy B-Day to my dog. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that, Carson. My guy, Carson. That's funny, Rapod, because I'm about to pod. And it's funny you say that, Carson, because it's a game we must talk about. It's a game we must talk about, Dave. And I know what was going to happen. If this particular team won, Dave would have came in here and with a victory lap. You would have came, Dave.
No.
You would have came in here and you would have.
No,
you would have started your lap. You would have revved up.
No.
You would have revved up.
You know why I wouldn't have? Because it doesn't mean shit unless they win it all.
Exactly. So but you would have revved up.
Yeah, so it wouldn't have mean, because even if I wasn't gonna say anything until they win it all. Because other than that, I have nothing to say. They the last one with the defensive coach. But now we need to have a discussion about
Don't stop talking now. Don't stop talking. Let's talk about it. We got to unpack this.
All right.
There's levels to this, okay? There is levels. And if you don't know what we're talking about the Buffalo Bills, and we're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals went up there and smacked the shit out of the Buffalo Bills, okay? They manhandled them.
In the snow.
All right? In the snow, in their stadium. Went to Buffalo and manhandled them dudes. Now let's talk about this. Dave, because we come on this show and we talk about we talked about the Ron Rivera tree. We talked about the Ron Rivera tree, and we talk about how the Buffalo Bills are the Carolina North. We sit up here and we talk about that all the time, don't we? Don't we say that? Because they had a guy that named Sean McDermott who went up there and took our GM or could have been Brandon Bean, who could have been our GM, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But we have another guy that is in the Rivera tree that you all want to hire. Meanwhile, watching our demise. Y'all want to be the Buffalo Bills. Y'all want us to be the Buffalo Bills. They have a franchise quarterback in Josh Allen. They have they're going to be a perennial playoff team, right? That's cool. Do y'all want to? Are y'all cool with that? Because guess who's about to be on the hot seat right now? If the Buffalo Bills don't make it to the AFC Championship game, what's going to happen to McDermott, Dave?
They're not going to.
What's going to happen to him? Dave, have you been listening to the Bills? Dave, they about ready to. They got to get over the hump, Dave.
Bro.
If they can't get
Bro.
over the hump, he's getting the can, bro. Believe that. He's
Do you
getting the
remember
can.
what Buffalo was? Do you remember what Buffalo was
I know what
before he showed
Buffalo
up?
was. But what does it
I
matter
do.
if you can't get over the hump, bro? When you got this roster, you got an elite quarterback, right? If you can't get over the hump, what good does it make? And you know what? You know what? How familiar this sounds? Huh? Who does this sound like? Who does this sound like, Dave? Who
Your
does
boy
this sound
Riverboat.
like?
Your boy
Riverboat,
Riverboat.
bro. You guys see,
you guys see,
bro. You guys see the blueprint right in front of you, but neglect to you're neglecting to you just want the feel good story.
Let's simmer down for just a tad.
I ain't simmering,
Let's
Dave.
talk this.
You don't
No,
want
you're
me
going
to.
to. God damn it!
You don't want me
you're
to.
Going
pod,
to.
Yo. See
You
how
can
Dave don't want
pod,
me to pod?
but no.
Rapod is here.
No,
Rapod is
Rapod.
here.
Hashtag Rapod in the chat. Hashtag Rapod
They
in the
don't
chat.
want me to pod, B. They don't want me to pod because
I want to have another.
Future.
I got a question for you though. What does that say about Dayball?
Exactly. Thank you. No, you took my point because I was going there.
Oh, I did. I took your shit.
Yeah, you stole.
Cause that's the first
my point.
dog. When Cincinnati.
No, please proceed, Dave. Proceed, please. Because you speaking my language.
When Cincinnati beat the brakes off of Buffalo, the first thing I thought about was Dayball, and considering what he did with Daniel Jones, which goes back to a question that I'm about to revert back to you, sir. If we bring in an offensive guy in here, and it looks like that's what they want, like I think Tepper's hell bent. Like I'm at the point now that I feel like Tepper's at the point of Wilks is like the absolute last resort. Like he's the last resort. I think he's willing to trade assets for Sean Payton if they'll let him, or get Stetchen if they let him, before they bring Wilks in at this point. That's where I'm at when it comes to the coaching situation. And I think if you decide on Stetchen, I'm okay with it. But if you decide to trade assets to go get Peyton, I feel a certain type of way about it.
But
that's how I feel about it.
But Dave, no, you're right. But let's unpack this a little bit further. Let's talk about Daboll for a second, because you were exactly right. You know, Josh Allen didn't have his best year this year. He had Daboll since he was in the league. Daboll leaves after 3 years. Okay, Dave, let's unpack this a little bit further. I'm about to pod. And Steven says Jakaris. Yeah, I'm about to Jakaris, Dave. If you're a Game of Thrones fan, you know what I'm talking about. Let me get to these super chats. I've never watched an episode of James.
Let me get to these super chats
real quick. Let me get to these super chats real quick. White Chocolate Espresso says 4 straight years of both teams in the Super Bowl with offensive-minded coach. Hire Shane Steichen, I believe is how you say it. And please just don't trade for Peyton. I agree with that. Ken Dorsey stock straight going down. I agree with that too. Will you have a heart attack if we hire Dorsey, bro? I don't want Dorsey. But hold on, Dave.
I never wanted Dorsey. Let me be clear. Y'all know that.
Hold on. Let's unpack this real quick. Let's unpack, because you the one that brought up Daboll, right? And it's a great point, right? Let's go in. Let's go in and hire. This is what I've been saying. Y'all don't listen to me. Please listen to what I'm saying. We hire Steve Wilks. Hypothetically speaking, we hire Steve Wilks, right? Let's say we have the greatest offense, the number one offense under Wilks for the next 2 years, and we get dumped out the playoffs. We let's say we make it to an NFC Championship game and we get beat, right? What's going to happen to that offensive coordinator, Dave? What's going to happen to the offensive coordinator if we're good? Exactly. You just watched the Bills just played our entire future out if we're going to get Wilks and be successful under Wilks. The entire thing is playing out right in front of you. It's playing the Bills. Look at the Bills. They can't get over the hump. But y'all want to bring homie in here. You watching it, and y'all, and I don't understand it. I can't fathom you guys sitting here watching the Rivera tree at work. He has a great quarterback. They just paid him. So now, guess what? all of the money that was shifted from them building a defense has now shifted to them paying Josh Allen, right? They can no longer put resources into their defense. So guess what happens? Their defense takes a step back. Their defense sucks. It's not as good, right? And now we've got a $50 million quarterback.
But their defense is banged up. Their defense has been hurt. Von Miller's been out for the majority of the year. The secondary has been decimated. Decimated.
You a defensive coach, right? Figure it out.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Figure it out.
Oh, come on, dog.
Figure it out.
The only reason why we didn't beat Tampa is because we had out here CJ Henderson out here and don't understand how to freaking speak and have communication. We gave up 2 big plays to the same damn play 2 times in a row because we out here because of comms issues. The injuries matter, bro. Like, Buffalo has been decimated all season in injuries. I mean, I get what you're saying. I understand the correlation.
All I'm saying is facts.
I still think I agree that Allen did take a step back, but that defense, it was decimated with injuries too. Like, there was more layers to it than that. There's more layers to it than that. So let's not.
What's the layer? Unpack it for me, because I see it. I see a direct correlation between what's going to happen here if we hire Wilks. And listen, because when I say this, it comes out as hate, and it's not hate. I don't hate Wilks. I think because the Carolina Panthers suck so bad, we want to be good. We want to make the playoffs, and some of y'all are just okay with it. You want me to pod or nah? Do you want me to pod? Because some of y'all are okay with us just being a playoff team, and that's what's happening right now. Y'all are okay with us turning the page and getting a playoff berth and being cool with that. Y'all want us to be the Bills.
I'll say it on Twitter, and I'll say it again. You guys think the reason why I'm rooting for Wilks for the wrong reasons. The biggest reason why I'm rooting for Wilks is because I don't want these cats to make the damn mistake. The damn answer's right in front of them. If they trade our trade assets to go get Peyton, I'm gonna be furious.
I don't want
because
Peyton.
Nobody can still.
I don't think Peyton is the answer.
Because let me say something, bro. Somebody's got to explain to me the difference between him and McCarthy. I'm still waiting for a legitimate answer. Nobody can explain this shit to me. Nobody. Bro, they're the same guy.
We shifting the conversation. I don't want Peyton. We can get Peyton out of it. I don't want Sean. And Sean Payton interviewed today. And he's continuing to interview.
He did.
I don't think it's going to happen. So we can.
I don't think so too, and I hope not.
Peyton is not coming here. I could care less about Peyton. My conversation right now is between Steve Wilks and everybody else not named Sean Payton. Sean Payton is not going to be our head coach.
X
him out.
All right, so out of the remaining coaches left, who do you have ahead of Wilks right now? Like, name your coaches right now that you would have ahead of Wilks that is available. Because I'll probably be okay with one.
This guy right here on the screen.
That's probably the only one. That's it. Now, but anybody else? Anybody else?
No, I don't want Ken Dorsey. I don't want any.
No,
I mean,
because I don't trust Ken Dorsey. We just saw that it ain't Dorsey that created that shit. All right, I think a lot of folks wanted Dorsey, and I was against Dorsey from the gate. And after what the hell I saw Daboll deal with Daniel Jones, they didn't get that man his 5th-year option. And now Daniel Jones, they got a legitimate argument of bringing that man back to New York. A legitimate argument to bring him back to New York. Now, whether or not they will, that's a different discussion. So this is the only guy left. What about Frank Reich? Are you found Frank Reich?
Nah, I'm cool.
Would you be okay?
I could be okay
with a Wilks Reich combo with the Wilks Reich combination? Would you be okay if Reich is the OC?
I think I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be mad at that. I wouldn't be mad at that scenario. I would not be mad.
Okay. No, because dude, I don't know how long this shit's gonna take. Like, we might need to be rooting for Philadelphia to lose next week, but they probably will. But I got them losing to San Fran. So,
hey, so
it's just.
No, go ahead, Dave.
No. So those are the things. Like, so you don't want any parts of Jim Caldwell, but I don't think Jim Caldwell was a serious candidate anyway.
That wasn't a serious candidate. Yeah, I don't think Jim Caldwell was a serious candidate either. I think that
we know what it was.
Rule.
We
That
know
was a
what
Rooney
it.
Rule.
We know what it was, and then they still didn't do their diversity training right. That was hilarious, by the way. I just want you to know how funny that was to me when I kept saying these cats are out here just trying to get their two in, and then they never rescheduled D'Amico Ryans' interview. They still haven't scheduled him after logistical problems. They haven't had no interest in rescheduling. So that tells you everything you need to know. Because it's insane that he hasn't gotten more interviews, by the way. I just want y'all to know that. What he's doing with that defense in San Francisco, but offense is the wave. Same goes for what the hell the Bengals the defensive coordinator for Cincinnati, what the hell they just did to Buffalo? You don't bring that guy in for an interview? But offensive coordinators are a wave. So
they are the wave. You need
they
to
are
ride the wave. Pause.
Well,
The answer's in front of you, bro. It amazes me, bro. Like how y'all can see. We can sit up here, look at the playoffs as they have been the past couple of years, and sit here and then go opposite of it and be like, yo, I want to go elsewhere. Like you see the wave happening in front of you, but choose to go the opposite way. It just doesn't. It blows my mind, bro. And you see it. You see the direct, and there is a clear correlation, okay, between what's happening with the Bills. It's the tree, everything. You see your future right in front of you, and y'all still want to ride that. It doesn't make sense to me, bro. I cannot fathom. Noli, whenever you want to jump in here, you can hop on and explain yourself on live. Come on in here, Noli, because I gotta hear this live. I see you're chatting, and I'm not riding that. You pause. That ain't it. That ain't it for me, bro. That ain't it for me. And again, like I said, even under the best scenario where you have Steve Wilks and he's great, he brings in a great OC, bro. As soon as the offense shows some moxie, he's gonna get plucked. That's why GMs are hiring offensive head coaches. That's because it's easier to replace. Bro, Vic Fangio is a defensive genius. Why is he available? Dave, why is Vic Fangio available right now? He's one of the greatest defensive minds out there right now.
Because he never got a quarterback. He never got a quarterback in Denver.
Okay, why is nobody else giving him a shot then to come and get him a quarterback to be a head coach?
Bro.
Answer the question.
Listen.
Why is nobody calling Vic Fangio? Right now he chilling with the Eagles, I think, ain't he? And he with the Eagles as some assistant. So why is one of the best defensive minds out there right now sitting here available? Why?
Because y'all tripping.
Who tripping?
They tripping.
No, because
the NFL
the reason
tripping.
why. No, answer the question, Dave. Answer the question, bro. Why is Vic one of the greatest defensive? Y'all can talk about all these. You can talk about D'Amico Ryans. You can talk about all these other cats. But Vic Fangio is a proven solid defense, a very, very good defensive coordinator. Why is he not interviewing for jobs right now?
Bro, age maybe? I don't know. Shit. I don't know.
Bro, it's the wave. It's the wave, bro. It's get your offensive guy in the building
So how many coaches that are going to get hired you think are going to be defensive? I think it's going to be more.
Not many. Maybe one or two. How many jobs are out there?
We got Arizona, Denver, us, Houston. Who else is out there? Am I tripping? Is those four? Is there anybody else? Oh, the Colts. The Colts. Noli, what's up, man?
Not much.
Noli, what's good, man? Come on. Okay, let me set the table real quick. Because Noli is a staunch Wilks supporter, bro. Yes, it's nothing I could say to get him to the other side. So we've been going back and forth on Twitter. I need you to explain yourself, bro. Go ahead, let's get it. Set the table. Undo everything I've said. Fight back, bro.
Oh, this is easy. For me, I take the big picture view. So I look at what Wilks inherited this year, and then I also look back to 2017 and how Wilks was as a coordinator his 1 year. What's one thing we remember from that year? This man was aggressive by nature. super aggressive. We were blitzing like crazy. Okay. What he did this year was cater to his personnel. I what I want you to try to understand is I do not think Wilks will be this conservative if he is given the head coach title. What I think he did this year is he said, okay, let me do whatever I have to do this year with the personnel I have, with the hand that I was dealt, to try to maximize and get as many wins as possible. I think if he is given this job, it's going to be, and again, from all accounts, he has a good offensive plan. I think he knows he has to open it up. But he had Sam Darnold as his quarterback, Baker Mayfield, PJ Walker. He had to do whatever he needed to do to try to get as many wins as possible. And one of the things you brought up on Twitter yesterday is an offensive coach can get more with less. The definition of winning that many games with Sam Darnold and the pieces we have is more with less. What
in a terrible division, I might add. But
of course. But to me, Darnold looked the best in his career under a defensive-minded head coach. Like, in my opinion, if Wilks comes back, I don't expect to see this same offense. I'm expecting changes. That's where I'm coming from. If you're telling me Wilks comes back and he does the same exact thing, no, I don't want him.
But Noli, so address this, because you're right. He's gonna have a new offensive coordinator, right? So yes. you say you look at the bigger picture, but you're not looking at it through my lens. Okay. What happens when our offense is clicking and that offensive coordinator is snatched? Then what?
Then to me, you should have a good system to where you can have the next guy come in and you develop someone behind.
So sometimes it's not like that. I go back to the Bills comparison with Dabo. Maybe he was that sauce. Okay. So it just don't work. Like, in my opinion, it just don't work. Like, which is why I'm so staunch on getting a offensive coordinator here, because it keeps continuity in your offense. Again, I keep going back to the defensive guys. Vic Fangio is available right now. You can grab one of the best defensive coordinators there is and put him as a defensive coordinator, and nobody's going to take him.
You know who might get a job?
Why does that not make sense?
Okay, but
why does that not make sense?
My thing is, okay, let's go to Philly. I mean, if we want to use that example, because we're looking at Steichen. Nick Sirianni, from the research I've done, never called plays before he was hired in Philly. Gets hired in Philly, tries to call plays, terrible at it, gives it up to Shane Steichen. Okay? All of a sudden, the offense looks better. Gives it up last year. They look better this year. So when Shane Steichen leaves, what's to say there won't be a drop when he leaves? Because again,
there will be a drop. Which is why I want him as the head coach.
Okay,
that's my whole point.
But here's my thing.
You're speaking to my point.
Hold on. But Sirianni's an offensive guy.
But did you just say who was the sauce in that? Who did you just identify as the sauce? Okay,
but and that's my point.
You just identified Steichen as the sauce. He's the guy you want, not the other guy.
But here's my point. My thing is, not all offensive-minded coaches, quote unquote, call plays. That's what I'm saying. You're banking on getting not only.
But you know, Steichen calls them though.
Yeah, but you're banking on. Hear me out. You're banking on, because here's the thing. Dayball played for the Bills. He doesn't call plays now. Kafka does. So not only are you, because some guys, when they try to call plays, they can't handle both. I think the guy in Green Bay goes back and forth. So what I'm trying to say is you're banking on not only getting an offensive-minded guy, but also getting an offensive-minded guy that calls plays, i.e. Sean McVay. That's what I'm saying. Some of these offensive-minded coaches get hired, and then they get these jobs. And again, being a head coach is more than just X's and O's. It's about managing the game day situation. Some of them realize, I can't do all this. I need to put – and we've seen this many times with offensive-minded coaches. They give up play calling duties to focus on the team. So that's what I'm saying. It's better to have a guy that like Dave said, the answer is already there. The answer is already there in Coach Wilks. So if you're saying that Steichen is going to come in and call plays, okay, I'll be cool with that. You know, I'm not anti-Steichen. But my thing is, like, we also have to realize.
So real quick, hold on real quick, because you brought up a point with Kafka and Daboll, right? We know Daboll was the sauce, bro. We know that. Like, that's my point. We know that Daboll, even though he doesn't call the plays, he has the philosophy it's proven. It's proven that he was the sauce, and you can see it this year with Josh Allen. That's where the sauce is. So you got to identify where the sauce is.
Well,
you got to identify, and so that's why I don't want Kafka. That's why I don't want Kafka, because I know where the sauce lies. The sauce lies in Daboll. Pause. Okay, so that's the guy you want, and we know that's Steichen. That's where the sauce is, because you just said it. You just said it yourself. So that's the guy I want.
My thing is, I don't like the Bills comparison because, frankly, I think Josh Allen is very overrated. The Bills defense, the Bills defense has been suspect since McDermott has been there. So I think we can be better with the Bills. My thing is, under a defensive-minded head coach, we saw what Wilks was able to do. Again, I don't think this is his offensive philosophy. I think he literally just catered to his personnel. I think he literally catered to his personnel to get the most out of it. And you give him a full offseason with all his coaches and a quarterback, like, let's be real. If Steve Wilks, had a prime Cam and one more receiver with the current weapons we had this year, we're not running the ball that many times. And also, as much as we give Steichen credit, let's also that team is loaded, bro. Like, it takes both, and I know you did. Yeah, I know you do recognize that. But my thing is, if we just give Wilks the opportunity with an improved roster, a young rookie franchise quarterback, to me, he is going to be better. But I agree with you. If he's going to go on this conservative spiel like he did next year.
Bro, to me, it's not even about being conservative, bro. It's about the potential. And I see it. We've seen it. We've seen it. And I'm not just talking about going back to last year. I'm just saying, in defensive coaches in general, from the tree that he comes from, we've seen it, bro. We've seen all we needed to see. You see it happening with the Bills right now. You see it. You've seen it happen. Rivera's about to be unemployed probably soon. You see it with these guys, bro. Why not give? All we've had here is defensive coaches. Why not at this point do something different? Why not?
I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue with us being different, bro. But I just think we have to understand that you can have a Brandon Staley. Everybody's not going to be Zach Taylor. Everybody's not going to be. I agree. Everybody's not going to be Daboll. You know what I'm saying? So I just think I think if you want to go with an offensive guy, fine. We never had one.
Yeah.
Probably should try it out, see what happens. Cool. But at the same time, we've only been in this situation one other time where we've had a coach that never took us to the playoffs. So it's, this is the thing. So we'll see what happens here. But the thing is, it could get ugly quick. The only thing I hope, whoever Tepper decides to bring in, he don't do no 7-year, $10 million a year shit. He does something a little bit more reasonable from a contract standpoint for this coach. That's the only hope I have. And he gives him there's a level of a plan. And there's not a level of pressure that he's got to change shit every freaking year.
Exactly. And my thing is, I don't like pigeonholing myself. I get where the trends are, but I keep sound like a broken record.
No, you're neglecting the trend.
It's a trend, but my thing is, at the end of the day, you want to hire the best coach. Period. It's not all X's and O's. There are things and again, I get it. I get where the trend is going.
It's just going. We're almost last to the party.
But my thing is, I think what people
we're not. There's 5 openings, bro. We're not.
I'm talking about hiring offensive coaches. We're really last.
Frank Reich. Frank Reich is the offensive coach, ain't he?
He is.
He out here looking for a goddamn job too, and some of y'all want him.
Well, he's old too. He's 60.
But that's my point. And just hope we don't end up with Dan Quinn. All right, just hope we don't end up with Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn or
I'll really lose my shit then.
My thing is, in my mind, if Wilks gets this job, I don't think we're going to be this boring on offense like we were this past year. That's where I'm at.
if Wills gets the job, and listen, I know because I'm sounding like a hater.
You put
I
yourself in
like
a rough spot.
I know, but
because you like Wilks.
I like him. That's the thing. I like Wilks, and I understand why y'all like him. I get it, bro. I get it. I get the story. He's from Charlotte. It's a great story, and it sounds great. It's amazing. It's cool. I get all that, but bro, I see us being that team that cannot get over the hump. To me, I'm not just cool with making it to the playoffs. I know we've sucked, and I know y'all are frustrated, and y'all just want to take the you see light at the end of the tunnel, and you just want to jump at it because he's gotten us. He did so well with the lackluster talent that he's had, and y'all just want to jump at it to give him the job. But fam, like we can be like, let's not just be okay with being a playoff team. Let's make the push to get to the Super Bowl.
Why can't we do that with Wilks?
Us to the Super Bowl? It's not, yo, McDermott got Josh Allen, bro. Like,
Allen is overrated, bro. We gotta keep it a buck. This dude is so overrated. Come on, bro. We gotta keep it. Preseason, they were comparing Allen to Mahomes. You have people in the media saying he's the best quarterback in the league. No, we gotta keep it a buck with Allen. We have to.
I think we cop and please when it's convenient. Personally, that's what I call that.
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I was in the Twitter Spaces last night, before the game, and the debate was who's a better quarterback, Allen or Burrow. And I said Allen, and I got flamed. They thought I was crazy when I said Allen. Everybody else thought it was Burrow. Everybody thought it was Burrow. And I felt like, I felt like the dual threat aspect of Allen, the fact that Allen's such a bigger quarterback, and the fact that he can take punishment, he's willing to give out punishment.
And so real quick, let me address this too, because yesterday, and I know you brought it up. I said that offensive coaches can do more with less, and I think that tweet got a little misconstrued because when I say that, I think that when you identify, when you have an offensive minded head coach, that coach has a philosophy / system. Okay, are we tracking? Right. Yes. Mm-hmm. That coach, he has a quarterback in mind, and either he's good enough to go out there and draft that guy, and it's going to fit his system, which is going to make that quarterback successful because he's good enough to either tweak the system, or he's gonna put that quarterback in the best position to succeed, i.e. Hurts, right? I.e. Jalen Hurts, i.e. Burrow, i.e. there's a lot of guys on right now rookie contract, or 2 guys on rookie contracts right now in the playoffs.
But Burrow's special though, man.
Yeah, he is. He is special, absolutely.
And the thing is, I just think we need to be careful, right? Because we got to remember that everybody's not Kyle, too. Like everybody's not Kyle Shanahan. Like, and I said this yesterday in that Spaces too. The thing about Kyle, the thing that makes Kyle Shanahan so freaking crazy is the fact that his dad used to always pump out 1,000-yard running backs when his dad was the coach in the NFL. And what Kyle's been able to prove is that he can take any quarterback in these streets and make them relatively decent or good. He's taking Mr. Irrelevant, and they have a legitimate shot. He has a legitimate shot to have Mr. Irrelevant as the starting quarterback, a 7th-round pick, the last pick in the draft, to the Super Bowl. He's 1 game away from sending him to the Super Bowl. And I think they're going to win. And that is incredible.
A big part.
Because he knows how to scheme. And their defense is phenomenal.
Because they only scored 19 points on offense, which isn't crazy in today's NFL. And so
I just think we got to be careful. Like I'm fine with getting the offensive guy if we get the right guy. But if we get somebody like a Staley, who's out here blowing leads,
bro. He's not in the conversation. Why we keep bringing him up? He's not even interviewed. Like why we?
Because no, it's not. No. I said like up a Staley
got interviewed.
No.
Who's a Staley? No. Who do you don't want? Who have we interviewed?
I was not as high. That was supposed to get interviewed. I was not
supposed. Like who got an interview? No, who got an interview, bro? You keep bringing up these folk that ain't even on our damn rate. Like who don't you want this guy in? Who fits that category that we interview right now?
Kellen Moore tomorrow. Hard pass.
Kellen Moore.
Agreed. I agree. I agree there.
Ken Dorsey.
Mike Kafka, I don't
I
think he's
agree
ready.
there. I don't
Mike
want Dorsey
Kafka.
either.
Mike
So
Kafka.
real quick, and I don't want Kafka either, but let me address this what Aaron said. Shout out to Aaron in the building. So he says, because I think he's talking about when I was saying a good offensive coordinator. I've said this already. So why can't a good OC with a good defensive head coach do the same thing? Because you're going, as soon as that offense hits its stride, and as soon as the offense is good, that offensive coordinator is going to get plucked. You lose continuity,
you'll be in the same,
bro.
No,
that's why
you'll
I'm
be in the
that.
same issue. You'll be in the same issue that would happen with Tampa when they had Lovie Smith, and they were worried about losing Dirk Cutter, so they fired Lovie Smith to make Dirk Cutter the head coach, and Dirk Cutter was trash too, and it didn't work out either way. So I mean, you're damned if you do, potentially damned if you don't, depending on the situation. But it's just if you make the decision to hire an OC, you just got to make sure you got to get the right guy.
You got the right one. You got to get the right one. Absolutely.
So Rashad, why do you think, or maybe I don't want to put words in your mouth. Why? Yes, he's a defensive side, but you don't think Wilks could have a philosophy? You don't think Wilks could establish?
No, he has one. He run the dang ball. It was very clear what his philosophy was, and I agree with it because I was pounding the table for him to do it.
But my thing is, again, that's what we had to do with the hand he was dealt this year. I think
that would be his philosophy. I think that would be his philosophy, either to protect the young quarterback. I think that would be his philosophy moving forward, either way. And I wouldn't be mad at that. That's not a problem to me. It's not a problem to me.
I just think we're selling Wilks short on the offensive side, assuming that he's just going to be conservative.
But bro, I've never said that, bro. I've never said that he was going to be necessarily conservative. But what I'm saying that even if you take it in greatest scenario of all time, where we have the number one offense, bro, as soon as that happens, the coordinator that he's working with is going to be taken. Bro, we've seen it. They're snatching. As soon as a guy shows promise, they're getting interviews and they're getting snatched, bro. Steichen. Bro, he's been with the Eagles for what? 1 year? He's about to get snatched. 2 years. He's about to get snatced. As soon as they hit their peak, he's gonna get snatched. So what if they don't win the Super Bowl? What happens?
But I'm gonna take a wild guess. Let's say Steichen has a sauce and he gets snatched. Guess what? Because they have a franchise quarterback and because that offense is loaded, they'll be just fine.
Bro, they had Hurts last year. He wasn't that great.
Yeah, I mean wasn't that his
this year Hurts
started? Yeah, but what happened? Yeah, they replenished. They restocked the defense and then they brought in AJ Brown. Like that makes a big difference when you get in AJ Brown.
Fair enough.
Like
fair enough.
They built around him, and to me, like
they got weapons around him.
Yeah, if you have a good system around you, like coaches are going to come and go. That happens offense or defense. I want the best CEO, which is what a coach is. I want the best CEO. And
we just had that. We had Matt Rule.
Just add that, bro.
No.
You're speaking like Tepper now, bro.
No. Matt Rule's not
speaking like Tepper.
No.
You just had that. That's what we just. A leader of men. All the stuff you've been saying. That's the same thing Tepper would speak.
No,
you're speaking Tepper language, bro.
Stop it, bro. Are we comparing Matt Rule?
Bro, I don't even speak of him, bro. I don't even know who you're talking about.
No.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
Matt Rule was a fraud. Matt Rule was a fraud. I'm not even going to put that on what's. No.
Certifiable, yo.
To me, like, yes, you're gonna have good coaches. Ron had coaches pluck. Like, you're gonna have good coaches pluck.
Bro, this chat is pissing. Yo, y'all like want the most perfect. If your offensive coordinator leaves, then your team shouldn't be crippled, bro. That happens. It happens. You just seen it with the Bills, bro. I don't know, man. I can't help y'all. If y'all don't see it, bro, I can't help you, bro. But my bad. No, y'all cut you off.
No. You good. It's just no. I think, I personally, I'm not gonna be mad if Wilks doesn't get the job unless it's the Steichen guy, in my opinion. If it's Sean Payton and we mess around and give up these picks, I will be upset. But my thing is, let's get a franchise quarterback. We already have a good line. Let's build the roster, okay? If you should have a stable enough team, and by the point your offensive coordinator gets plugged, hopefully your quarterback is developed. There shouldn't be this huge, massive drop off where you go from being a playoff team to all of a sudden not making the playoffs
No, but
because your
even
OC leaves.
nobody even said, oh, not be a playoff team. Because like I said, I started this pod with the Bills conversation. Is answer this question, please. Because y'all go to the extremes with the conversation. Answer this question. Dabo leaves the Bills. Are the Bills a better offense last year under Dabo, or are they worse? We're not talking about crippling. We're not talking about it falling out. We're not talking about the bottom completely falling out. But we're talking about a big loss to your squad, bro. It happened.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, I haven't checked the numbers. I guess you could say they're worse, but to add context, I think some of it's not all day ball, in my opinion. Like, they lost to Kansas City because they couldn't stop anybody, and defensively, still not great this year. Yes, I guess you can bring up the Dorsey, but so you think they beat the Bengals if they had day ball yesterday?
No.
Be honest.
No.
I don't know.
I
That's
don't.
hard. That's hard to tell. I
No.
don't know the answer.
No.
Because
I'm not
they
gonna
You know
have
say
why?
I don't know. I don't
No.
know.
because they have
No. You want to know why?
Why?
Because it's because of the injuries, bro. They've had flaws on defense all year, and they've been able to win despite it. And now when you're in the playoffs, those flaws show. Because once you make the postseason, the
Yes.
flaws show even bigger than what they were before. Like the flaws show, and that's what happened. Cincinnati, like people probably Cincinnati's gonna about to repeat, go back to the Super Bowl.
I think so.
Because
Yeah.
there's no way in hell I can't, but I don't see Mahomes able to win that shit with a high ankle sprain. I
I agree.
don't, bro. The weaknesses show when you're in the postseason, bro. Because it's not
Exactly.
it's not a situation where you're just playing teams. You're trying to fix. No. We're at the end of the season. It's who's the healthiest, who can execute the best. That's who's winning. And it ain't like Cincinnati doesn't know how to beat Kansas City in Kansas City because they can. They don't have to be on the road. They were taking it to them.
Yeah, and yeah, I think the most important thing, yes, coach is important, but if we can continue to build our roster, get the young franchise quarterback in there, like that to me is what's going to lead to long-term success than being afraid of your OC being plucked here and there. Like you should have a good enough coaching staff that let's not go to the extreme. You should be successful every year. You're not going to win the Super Bowl every year, obviously, but I don't buy the notion that with Wilks coming back and an improved improved overall offense, improved staff, that we're just going to be a middling 8 to 9 win team. I don't buy that personally.
I don't think that, and I'm on record saying that I believe that Wilks could get us multiple division titles. I'm on record with that. But that's not what I want. I want a Super Bowl.
I do too. Yeah.
I want a Super Bowl, bro. And I feel like what I want, let me voice what I want, because I don't think it's really clear. Because I want, as of right now, the guys we've interviewed, I want Steichen, right? And then I want Steichen to handpick his quarterback. Who is he gonna build around? And once you get that scenario, and you get those two guys together, quarterback and the coach, an offensive-minded head coach that is going to know how to utilize this guy, whether he's calling plays or not, his philosophy is going to be applied to this quarterback. And this quarterback, they're going to go for the next 4 or 5 years, and hopefully, right, they catch fire, because guess what? We have an improved offensive line. If we can re-sign our guys, you're going to have a solid offensive line. You're going to have DJ Moore. You're going to have hopefully some more wide receiver step up. Our defense is okay. We got some holes you got to plug a little bit, but I think the offense is closer to, in my opinion, I think the offense could be closer to being better than the defense could be. I guess, yeah. I think the offense is closer to being better and taking off than the defense would be if I had Steichen and a good quarterback. That's what I want. That's what I
All
want.
right. All right. So Rashad, we got like 466 people watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. And I want to pay some bills real quick.
Go ahead.
Because, I'm going to go ahead and make that happen. What's going on, guys? This is Dave from PNP, and I'm here to talk to you about Underdog Fantasy. I just want to remind you that's the easiest place to play. There ain't too many places where you can win 20 times your money in the same night, utilizing higher lowers in the Pick'em game. And now they have Pick'em Insurance, where while you won't win the same amount of money that you did before, you can miss one and still bring home some money. So if you do it 3 times, you could potentially still get your money back if you end up missing one. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up today and use the code PNP when you do. And the $100 deposit match still stands. Underdog Fantasy. All right, guys. So just so you know, with regards to Underdog Fantasy, right now we're in the we're in the Championship Sunday. They're doing a tournament for that. You can draft your teams right now with the final 4 teams. Awesome opportunity to win you some big money in the tournaments, and you can always do the higher and lowers in the pick'em game. There ain't too many places where you can make 20 times your money. All right, Underdog Fantasy. The best ball tournaments are over for NFL, but if you want to get baseball popping, you can. You can get into some basketball higher lowers for points, rebounds, assists, combinations. There's a lot of awesome options when it comes to that. So just check out Underdog Fantasy. Use the code PNP when you do. Sorry, Noli. But welcome to our commercial.
Hold on. Let me address
Oh no,
this.
it's all good.
Let me address this real quick because he's saying we jumping from OC to OC. Bro, Ben Johnson removed his name from contention. So we ain't got no choice but to pick somebody else. What you talking about, man?
Look, man.
What y'all
When somebody
about?
don't want it,
if you gonna
no
diss-
means
if you gonna diss
no.
me-
No means no.
If you're gonna diss me, make some sense, bro. Like, come on, man. Come on, bro.
No means
Go ahead.
no.
Oh,
No means
that's
no.
funny. Yeah,
No
I
means
mean,
no.
I want this to be wrapped up soon. But I think the longer the Eagles are in the playoffs, and the longer we go without hiring a coach, I think that'll give us our answer. But I'm hoping they can get somebody in there. I'm ready for this process to be over, whichever way we go. And I want to be clear. I completely get wanting the offensive coach. I'm not saying it's bad. My I guess defense is more of Wilks. Like I think we can get that.
You know what makes it interesting about the whole situation about wanting an offensive guy? I understand the trend side of it, but I'm just thinking about it from the perspective of where Tepper came from a minority ownership standpoint.
Yeah.
That's what makes this intriguing for me. He came from a franchise that kept the coach for a long period of time, man. So that's why I think it's intriguing. I mean, I think the Steelers only had like 5 coaches in their history, and they've been around way longer than us. So that's what makes it more intriguing than anything else to me. But he owns the team; he can do what he wants. I just hope he makes the right call. And I just hope he doesn't get attracted to the splash. But I'm hoping that Sean Payton is gonna end it out of his own misery.
I don't want Sean Payton here. I don't agree with giving up the picks. So I'm cool on Sean Payton. I don't.
Yo,
I
folks
don't
legit thought that. The thing that made it wild to me when I was on Twitter early today was that folks thought that a 2024 first round pick would be enough, and I'm like, oh yeah, you guys have no idea.
And that's valuable.
Ninth would have to go.
Exactly.
Ninth would have to go. Like ninth is gone, and maybe a second round pick. We'd be lucky if we could give him the late one, the McCaffrey pick. But we'd probably have to give up the early one. Oh yeah, so like, you guys got to take Sean Payton. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. I think I give Tepper enough credit to think that he's not gonna do that.
And thankfully, there are 4 other people involved in this hiring process. Still, probably his own decision, but like
the fact that he left the interview without saying that the trade was done tells me that he's not going to end up here. And truth be told, I think Sean Payton's going to end up in Fox if you keep it a buck.
Oh, yeah.
Which is scary in itself, because then you wonder what Tepper's going to do then if Tepper's just going to just wait for the pursuit for next year.
Oh,
that was another discussion point I didn't even bring up. Like, then I'm feeling for Wilks, because then he's going to be in the same situation he was in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't succeed, they're going to let him go after 1 year and then get Payton here without giving up compensation. Because
Yeah, so real quick, let me hit this super chat. It says, let's really get into Tomlin. Hasn't won a playoff game in 6 seasons since losing to Tebow. and they've been mid since, and that's Tomlin as head coach, and Tomlin's a defensive guy. I don't know.
He
I guess
hasn't
that's why he
lost. He
brought that
hasn't
up.
had. He hasn't had a losing season since he's been the head coach of the team. I don't want to hear shit.
Exactly. And
There's nothing you can. There's
Roethlisberger,
nothing you can tell me that can convince me otherwise. We have let coaches go in this franchise history because they never had consecutive winning seasons. That man has never had consecutive losing seasons, and he's been the coach of the Steelers for 16 years. And folks thought he was going to have it this year, and he said, and still ended up 9-8 when the season ended.
Could you try again?
And Siri, I'm not going to try again. How about you quit listening to me? How about that?
if Shane is the guy, I hope he
Sorry,
brings
I can't
Fangio.
help you with that.
I think that would be
I
nice.
I
To
don't know
me-
if there's a connection with that. I knew there was one
there
with
is.
Ben Johnson, but I don't think there was one with him.
There is currently Fangio is a defensive
Yeah, he's
consultant,
for the Eagles. Yeah, there's a
and
connection.
and we've interviewed him, so we obviously like him. My
Yeah.
thing is, I think that's why they interviewed him, and I think that's a name Steichen gave them in the interview process. And the better the Eagles do, I think again, I don't think they'll base it off that, but because take it for what it's worth. Scott and the presser was like, we'll know when we have our guy in the interviews, which again, when you look at who's in the interview process, I'm glad they're doing this interview. It's a lot more professional. It's a lot better. It's not
Yeah.
It's not David Tepper, Marty Herney waiting in Matt Rule's driveway, taking his luggage. And then
Yeah, that's corny.
y'all remember in the presser, they said after a few minutes, we went to recruitment mode. Him and Herney tried to recruit Rule. Like, this is so much better process. I'm thankful for that. It's just from all accounts,
Even
again,
even with Nicole not taking the diversity training, yo, I still think that was
That's
the funniest
crazy.
thing.
Yeah, that's wild, bro.
Yo, that was the most hilarious.
Yeah, so I wonder what's up with the repercussions of that. Is there going to be any kind of windfall?
I don't
I
think
haven't
so.
heard it.
Because it was a new rule. Initially, I thought I was worried about us potentially losing draft picks, but then I learned it was a new rule. So I have a feeling that it might just end up being a fine.
there won't be no repercussions because the next day, immediately, you got a notification from Panthers local reporters. Nicole Tepper has completed her training.
Yeah,
I.e.,
yeah, I got
she
that. I saw that.
watch the video. So
That
my
was
thing
hilarious.
is, from all local accounts, Wilks has him and Reich had a solid interview, and he has a solid plan for the offense. I don't know if we'll ever find out if he doesn't get the job, but I want to know what that quote unquote solid plan is. That's just kind of where I'm at.
Yeah, I think, and that's what's on the screen right now. Did we ever answer if Wilkes is the head coach, who the hell his OC is? It's a great point. I don't. It hasn't
I'll tell you
never
who it
been. We
won't
probably
be.
won't know until it happens.
I'll tell
McAdoo?
you who it won't be.
Yeah, it can't.
It won't be Ben
McAdoo.
McAdoo.
Yeah, that's not a good look.
I could
But
guarantee.
I wouldn't
you
mind.
it
I
won't be
wouldn't
Ben.
mind Reich as our OC. I wouldn't mind Reich and Fangio. I wouldn't mind that combination, OC-DC combination. I think that gives a lot of good experience. But we've said this a million times on the show. Some guys just aren't good head coaches. They're better coordinators, and that's a thing. Like Noli said, and I agree with him. Is that it is much more than just being calling plays or being an offensive guy. You do have to manage the entire team. I agree with that. And so some guys just can't handle that, and they're just good at what they do. And so that's why they're better coordinators. So, and that could be the case for the offensive guy we bring in. That's
Yeah.
part of it. It's taking a risk, and I'm willing to take the risk if it's going to get me a Super Bowl. That's my whole point. Is I want to take a risk. I know what I'm pretty sure I know what Wilkes, given the history with Rivera and given what I've seen with McDermott. I've seen. I just seen it, bro, and I want something different. That's just me. That's just me personally. I just want to see something different.
I think, the only thing I got left to say is I think Reich, if there's any way he would accept the OC job, I think that would be a home run because I don't think that's someone you have to worry about getting poached. He's 61
Right.
years old.
Exactly.
I don't know how many.
Exactly.
I don't know how many more opportunities he has.
Exactly.
And to me, he's a proven head coach. He was given a raw deal in Indianapolis. So if you hire him, I think he can be here.
It's the same thing.
Now, Noli, I agree.
To take a job.
Noli, I agree with that. I agree with what you said about getting that, and that's my biggest concern. Right, is about your OC getting poached. I agree with you. I don't think Wright would get poached at all. I agree with that.
It's the same thing about Caldwell, but I don't know if I don't think Caldwell wants an OC job. So
nah, he deserves to be head coach. That's
thing.
a travesty, bro. Travesty. Oh my god.
So yeah. Again, right now, if things were to end, I would like Steichen as the head coach. Again, coming from that Eagles pedigree, he was also the offensive coordinator for the Chargers. He's got 3 years worth of experience as offensive coordinator. I like him. I think he's the sauce. I think that's going
And
that's going
then
to be a difference. Go
Fangio is
ahead.
DC.
I would love, yeah, Fangio is DC. I think that
Yeah,
needs to happen. That needs to happen. No matter who the head coach is, I think Fangio
yeah.
needs to be DC. But
If those are the two
How much
options
longer
we
do you
go
think
in,
this is
I'll
gonna
be
take,
happy.
man? You
it
think this
gotta
is
it
gonna
gotta
it's gonna
happen pretty
last as
quick,
long?
man. The
It's
dominoes
gonna
about to
last as
start
long as
falling a little
Philadelphia.
bit.
It's gonna last as long as Philadelphia's in the playoffs.
Could be,
Oh God.
could be, because I think Steichen did a phone or Zoom interview. I don't think he's done it in
Yes.
person yet. So I don't. I think that may or may not have to happen. I don't know what Tepper's process is. But yeah, I don't know,
Usually
man.
they do second interviews, right? Because last year, if you remember with
Yeah,
Kevin O'Connell with the Vikings, they made it all the way to the Super Bowl, and there was pretty much rumors came out that he was going to be the guy in Minnesota. So I don't know if the Eagles will make it that far, but yeah, I, I'm hoping we hear
Some are
second
saying
interviews
some are
after
saying
tomorrow.
the Panthers will. Some are saying the Panthers will have their coach lined up before February. So we'll see.
now
I
Don't know
hope
that
how.
so.
I
means
think
yeah.
that'll be dependent
I
on who makes. That depends on who wins
there's
on Sunday, in my opinion.
this is a couple guys I don't want no parts of. And let me be clear, I'm down for the offensive mind, but that only goes so far. I don't want Sean Payton because I want our first round pick to go to a quarterback potentially. I
Yep.
don't want Kellen Moore. I don't want Mike Kafka. Those are some guys I don't want. And so I don't know where Noli went, but thanks Noli for coming back on. I don't know if you're gonna jump back in here, but those are some guys I don't want. And I'm pretty clear about that. Wilks is my number 2 behind Steichen. There's nobody else. Just because, and I know the way I've been talking, it seems like I don't want Wilks, and that I prefer someone else. That's just how it is. Give me
And there's
Steichen.
nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just,
Yeah,
it's there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, I just, I feel like we've been talking about. I think the division is up for the taking, and I think there's a lot of teams that are going to be a mess for the next couple of years. Like the Bucks are going to be a mess. The Saints are
Bucks
going to
about to
be
be
a
trash.
mess.
I
Yeah,
think the
they about.
Falcons are up. The Falcons could be up because they got a lot of cap. They got a lot of cap to work with. Depending on what they do with their pick, they could be tough sledding down the road. But the Falcons and Bucks, they got a lot. They got a lot they got to work with. But yeah, man, shout out to Noli. Appreciate you coming
Shout
on
out
here,
to
man.
Nolan, man.
We need.
Appreciate it, man.
I like
Appreciate you
having the
stopping
other
on, man.
opinion. I like having the other opinion because again, I'm not always right. I have an opinion, and but I'm not always right. So I like to have other people. Oh yeah, I don't want Dorsey either. Reich,
Uh-uh.
I wouldn't mind Reich, but I don't want Dorsey. I don't want Dorsey.
I'm cool with Caldwell, to be honest with you, but I just don't see it happening. I just don't see it happening because
Yeah, I don't think that's.
I think Caldwell has proven enough that he could. If it's about getting the Super Bowl, I get it, but I think he's proven that he can win football games and he could make progress, and so I'm cool with it. I think there's worse options. I would rather have Caldwell than Dorsey. I would rather have Caldwell than a lot of other people. But I get everybody wants to get that hot shot OC. So we'll see, man. It'll be interesting. I just know everybody that's having all this quarterback talk, it's a moot point to we figure out who the hell we got as a coach. But let's go ahead and get this mock draft popping, man. Let's
Y'all
see
want
what
to do
we're
a
looking
mock?
like. Cause you
I was
rolled
about
it.
ready.
Yeah,
I was
we need
about
to
ready
do
to shut
one.
it
You ain't do
down.
one for Mondays,
I
huh?
didn't, but I was about ready to
Let's
shut it down.
let's do
Let's
one
do it.
mock draft for him because
Do
you
a
ain't do
quick
one
one.
on Monday.
I'm
Let's do
tired. I
one.
gotta go to work tomorrow.
I gotta hop on HBCU Nightly right after the show's over, so after this we'll hop it and we'll do what we gotta do. But we should do a mock. I didn't realize you didn't do one on Monday, man. It's been a long day at
Nah,
work for
I
me,
had to go.
bro.
I had to go to
I had
work,
to
bro.
I had to
So
go pick up my new I had to go pick up my new glasses. I had to come back home and do some work. I literally was working until 8 o'clock. So
that's,
I was trying to knock a couple things out.
that's,
Bro,
now I'm
let me
surprised.
explain something
I'm
to you. Let me
surprised the
explain
draft
something to you,
network.
dog. You're not getting Peyton without giving up the ninth pick. The Saints will go elsewhere. There's other teams that want him. You're not getting him without the ninth pick. The 9th pick will have to go. So if y'all want Sean Payton, kiss the 9th pick bye-bye, kiss the 2nd round pick bye-bye, and kiss another pick from this year bye-bye. And maybe a pick from next year. Just remember, when the Bucks traded for John Gruden a few years back, it took them 2 first rounders, 2 second rounders, and he ain't win a Super Bowl ring yet. Just keep that in mind. So, yeah, man. Any thoughts on Leftwich getting fired?
Scapegoat.
Certifiable.
Scapegoat
Certifiable.
I don't think he did anything. He did anything wrong. That offensive line was decimated. And Tom wasn't the best, and they had to let somebody.
Brady got all the credit for the season he had last year, and freaking Byron Leftwich got all the heat for the bad season that he had this year. But we ain't gonna talk about that. We'll let that one go.
Yeah, I know. You know what it is with that.
He almost had the he almost had the Jags job last year. The only reason why he didn't have the Jags job because he wanted the GM changed because he didn't want to work with Balky. That's the crazy part.
All right, so here's the draft. It's small, but sorry. Will Anderson, Bryce Young, Will Levis, CJ Stroud went to 7. Do y'all want me to start it over and trade up, or nah?
All the quarterbacks went. What? Oh, wow, Richardson
Yeah,
went 8?
all the quarterbacks are gone. I didn't even see Richardson go. I didn't even see that.
Dog.
So every
I would take
single
Jalen Carter, and
gone.
I would take Jalen Carter in a heartbeat. Heartbeat.
Carter would be great. But yeah, I'm gonna start over because I wasn't paying attention, and let me start it over so we can land the quarterback.
Heartbeat.
I should make it go slow so I could watch it, but oh well. Anyway. All right. Dang. They be going quick, bruh. Bryce Young, CJ Stroud going. Y'all want to jump with the Seahawks? Jump to the Seahawks to 5 and get it's gonna be either Levis? Or
nah.
It's gonna be Levis or
nah.
Or AR.
Nah. Because AR will be there later. We should have took Carter in that last one, bro. At 2, should have took Carter. Could have took Carter at 9.
So what y'all want to do? Y'all want to take AR or they said no to Will Levis. No to Will Levis. AR-15. They said stay at 9 and trade back. Stand pack and take Richardson at 9. Let's try that. Richardson just went last time. We'll see what happens. Paris Johnson, I'm watching it here. Will Levis is still on the board. So it looks like we're going to get, no, because they could go here. Both QBs could go here. So let me see here. Oh, Levis. So do we trade? If we want AR, we got to trade for him now. Really?
Nah.
You got to trade up one pick.
Wait, who's left on the board?
AR-15.
If AR go, no, but who else is left on the board? Other than quarterback.
I can't really see. I mean, Carter's still available.
Carter's gone.
Oh, my bad. No, he's not. You're right.
3.
My fault. My bad. Let me see here. This players I can't really see. I can't see who there.
Yo, let's just roll with it. See who's available. We'll just roll with this draft.
We rolling the dice.
Well, we're not gonna be able to trade with Atlanta.
Oh, okay. All right, so we good. They went Tyree Wilson, so it's AR. Take AR here, or it is what it is. What y'all want to do? Y'all want to take AR at 9? Brian Branch, Breesy, Anthony Richardson. That's where we are. They're saying AR, so I'm gonna go ahead and take AR. So we land our quarterback.
It's kind of amazing that Richardson's jumped that high, by the way. Just want you to know that.
Yeah. Yes and no. 39. So we're now at pick number 39. Let's see. So a couple tackles. Mozzie Smith is interesting. We do need an interior defensive lineman. So I'm looking at either Mozzie Smith or Jack Campbell's intriguing too. So Mozzie Smith, we need a middle linebacker. Mozzie Smith, Jack Campbell. I'm not too familiar with Will McDonald. Let me peep his stats real quick. And take Downs. Downs is intriguing. Because that'll give us another wide receiver threat. Will McDonald's a 6'3", 236, so he's a bit light, a big light of an edge. Let me see. They're saying Ringo. Yeah, Ringo here, cornerback could be interesting. Ringo is interesting at quarterback. Cornerback. My bad. Did Darnell Washington go? Oh, he got hurt, didn't he? He got hurt, so it stopped. Darnell Washington, tight end.
Tight
he got hurt
right there.
Yeah.
I'll say take the linebacker, bro.
Jack Campbell or Ringo is intriguing. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
What does Ringo play?
They're saying that we might be able to get Mozzie or Campbell with the second round pick. So they're saying with Ringo.
What does Ringo play? What does Ringo play?
Ringo plays cornerback. And we damn sure
probably should take him because we don't know what Jackson looks like. Yeah, take Ringo.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna re-sign Henderson. Take Ringo. Take him.
I'm not mad at Ringo here. I'm gonna go ahead and take Ringo. We gotta stop playing with the cornerback. Ooh, that second round pick took a long time. So Gibbs, the edge rusher. This kid, I might need to take this kid next. So all of our
Campbell's
Zach Harrison,
gone, right?
Campbell's gone. Everybody we were looking at is gone pretty much. But I do like these edge rushers here. I'm not gonna lie. I like these edge rushers here. Felix Anduki Amuza, whatever. I like him. And I also like Zach Harrison. These are both guys that I like. And I'm not mad at Gibbs, but depending on what we do with Foreman, I think we're good there. Do y'all want to take Felix? I like Felix too. I'm gonna go Felix here. I think that's we need an edge. Felix. So I'm not mad at that. Now what we're missing here is linebacker, tight end. There's hooker. Got Noah Sewell. I gotta go Noah Sewell here. I don't know why he's down here so low. Pause. But Noah is probably gonna be my pick here. Just peeping around. I gotta go Noah Sewell here, right? I think that's pretty much that hyphenated scares me. They said the hyphenated name scares me because of the Yetur Gross Matos. That's funny. That's a really Sewell, funny correlation. See, I'm gonna take Sewell there. That's pretty. This is a damn good draft if I don't say so myself. Let's see. KJ Henry, edge, Zach Pickens. I'm not mad at that for interior defensive lineman.
What's tight end looking like?
Yeah, tight end. So K Stover's there with this one. Let me just sort it out. Let's see, we can see who's there. Y'all know who I like. I'm rolling with the cunts. Latu cunts. There's some guys I take a little bit later.
All right,
I'm not too familiar with these guys down here.
All right. So what about we already took our edge rusher, right?
Yeah, I like Trey Palmer. I always pick him though. Trey Palmer I like a lot. I don't know who this dude from Princeton is, but that's pretty interesting.
He probably smart as shit too.
Yeah. A couple wide receivers: Tyler Scott, Marvin Mims. A couple wide receivers down here. DT, yeah, I'm thinking of DT too from Carolina. Yeah, I'm thinking Zach Pickens. That's what I'm for interior defensive lineman. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pickens. I agree with y'all. All right, let's see who's left. Riley Moss, I like. Good double dip at cornerback. Xavier Hutchinson, I like him too. Not mad at Hutchinson right here. Gonna get another wide receiver deep. I think we picked him last time. But I wouldn't mind taking Hutchinson here.
Nah, take him. I like him.
The kid from Princeton, they're saying
Boy,
projecting to run a 4.240. That's why. That's why.
That's what
Yeah, I probably should have picked
we
him.
should have took
But
the
Zach,
damn.
I'm gonna go
But
with
he fell.
Hutchinson.
He almost fell to us again. So did we take
Let's
a running
see.
back at all? Did we take any running
Nah,
backs?
no running backs. We didn't take a running back, but
We
I
should
do.
take one. We should take one.
I'm not. Well, I'm not mad at the safety either. We need a safety. To'o still on the
Well, is
board.
Toe still there?
Yeah, I'm saying we could double dip a linebacker.
But we got
wouldn't
the
be
triple dip. We took Sewell too. We already got 3. Or we never did we ever we didn't
No, we
only
only
got
this would be double
Sewell.
dip. Yeah, we only
Oh
got
nah,
Sewell
well take
line.
him. Nah. That's the answer right there. Take Toe.
To'o.
That's your answer. Yeah, take Toe. Take Toe.
Yeah. All right, we'll take To'o.
Yeah, get 2
You gotta
linebackers,
have
man.
You gotta have more ooses on your squad. We're gonna have mad ooses. The Usos. We got To'o, Noah Sewell, Luvu. Yo, we got the greatest linebacking core of all time. Let's see. I probably want to grab a safety.
Did you just pass
Not
one?
real. Yeah, I did pass one, but I'm not familiar with these. I was looking to see if there's one I'm familiar with. I don't know who Shamari Connor is.
I want to take a running back in this draft, bro. I want to take a running
Why?
back.
For what?
Why not?
Because we got
for
Foreman
what?
and
Just
Hubbard and Blackshear. Probably bring back Blackshear. Yeah, you're right. I like Shadeen. I passed up on him. That was my fault. I'm just gonna go with the Shamari Connor cat. I don't know who he is, but I'm not familiar with a lot of these dudes at the back end of the draft just yet.
Whew.
I think that was it. Or do we got one more?
We got one more pick.
I could have waited. Oh, gotta go with Zach Kuntz.
Get your
That's
board.
my guy.
Yeah, you're gonna go with him.
Gotta go with Kuntz, dog. Yeah, we do gotta re-sign Foreman. That is saying that is under the assumption that we bring back Foreman. So here's our draft. Anthony Richardson, A+ pick. Keely Ringo, C. Felix Nduze Uzoma, excuse me. That's a A pick.
Zuma.
Whatever, Dave. Noah Sewell,
Don't do that.
B-.
You might interview him someday.
Zach, true. Then I really got to get his shit right. Zach Pickens, C+, Hutchinson, C-, To'o, C, Shamari Connor, B+, and Zach Kuntz, A-. I'll take that. B+ grade. I ain't mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all. Not mad at that at all. All right.
I thought they gave us a C for the toe pick, though.
Yeah, that was a good pick. Not sure
That
why
was a
they
hell of
did
a
that.
pick. What you talking about?
I like that pick too.
Tripping.
I like this is a solid draft. I'm not mad at the Anthony Richardson pick, especially depending on who the OC is. Especially if we get a guy like Steichen, he knows how to work with those type of guys. Got Hurts, similar skill set. I think we know what to do with a guy like Richardson. I'm not mad at that at all. All right. That being said, man, I gotta close this thing out. Got to get to work tomorrow. I'm tired already. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell, and get in the comments, all that stuff.
I got
Dave. Dave, where you gonna go? Did you say you want to go live again for another topic that you want to talk about?
Nah, I decided. I listen, man. I decided against it.
Gotcha.
I was frustrated with a lot of the things that was going on within the HBCU world, and I decided against it.
Oh, you ain't talk about Ed Reed, huh?
Nah, well, I'm literally right after this. If for those who follow me on Twitter, I'm gonna hop on HBCU Nightly. We're gonna talk about. I'm pretty sure that we're gonna talk about HBCU sports. I'm pretty sure Ed Reed is one of the first topics. They go live from 9 to midnight on Mondays and Wednesdays. So they're already rolling. I hop in after the show, and then I go live on Wednesdays, and then I got my show on Thursdays where I go over a rap album. And I got my daughter out here doing graphics for me, so I'm gonna post a new graphic. So I'm putting her to work. You know what I'm saying? Get her skill set up. I told her she can be as much as creative as she wants from that standpoint. Yeah, the Ed Reed situation, man. I mean, I'll just give you a short summary. I know if I walked into my job and cussed out my boss, I don't think I'll be lasting too long in my line of work, especially if I ain't got a contract in place. And I'll just leave it at that. But I will say his frustration did push the kids to decide to protest at the university because the university's got other challenges that's bigger than football. So I'll give him a little bit of credit. I question whether or not the kids should have already done this to begin with, but they did it. So but I've been on the cusp about what's been going with Bethune-Cookman for a couple of years now. So they've had a lot of challenges over the years that's about to come to head right now.
Yeah. But all right, it's time to get up out of here, man. Again, like, subscribe,
Yes, sir.
notification bell, get in the comments. I'm out. We'll holler at y'all. I don't know.
Monday.
Never know when we'll holler at y'all. Monday.
Unless we hire a coach.
I might go unless we hire a coach. Then we go
unless
live.
We hire a coach.
We go on live immediately.
Unless we hire a coach. Unless I'm at work. If I'm at work, he going live immediately.
If I'm not at work, if it happens within the next 2 days, I'll be at work. But if it doesn't happen within the next 2 days, if it happens on like Thursday or Friday, I'll be going live. But yeah, should be interesting. All right.
They got me in the office every day, unlike him. So, Peace out, guys. It's been real.
Rashad is definitely won today. Rashad won today. Okay, so shout out to everybody and shout out to Carson for the Rashad. Because I was on one today. Y'all gonna hear me one day, but make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell stuff, all that good stuff. We out, man. We holler at y'all. Peace.